I just realized that I think I was already unmuted. Oh well. Anyway, hello, good morning everyone. How are you? Let's see. Let us scroll up here. So we had the question of the day today. I thought that would be fun to start doing. I don't know if we'll keep doing it or what, but I think it might not be a bad idea. Rosemary Rose, good morning. Annie says, ooh, hard one. I would say water-based markers since I love Tombows and they're often more reliable than gel pens, depending on the brand. That's fair. That's what I think I would choose too. I think I would choose the water-based markers only because I feel like I would get frustrated with the gel pens. Like, with my luck, I would probably like smear the ink across the page. Let's see. And then Emily says, won't be on right away. I have a therapist. That sounds fine. But MIA from Emily's channel, live for a long time. Back to work full time. Ah, gotcha. All right. Sounds good. Yes, water-based is so versatile. Absolutely. Let's see. Good morning, Mandy. Tina, Leslie, Kenny. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see. Lisa, good morning. Stephanie, good morning. Janine, good morning. Kenny, did I say good morning to you? Somehow I skipped over your name. Hello, Kenny. Let's see. Marika, good morning. Oh, from Winnipeg, it's snowing there. It was 94 degrees here yesterday, so we absolutely had no snow. Let's see. Who did I miss? Sheena. Let's see. I think. Oh, and Ev. Ev, how are you? Aw, thank you, Kenny. Ev, how are you feeling? Let's see. Still plugging along. Hi, Shannon. Are the Arteza Everblends water? No, they are alcohol markers. That's why I specified, because if I just put markers, I would have hands down, you know, that would have been an easy choice. I mean, alcohol markers, yeah, that would have been way easy. But no, I had to specify water-based because that mixes it up a little. Truth be told, if I could only choose one kind of water-based marker, it would probably be the Staedtler fine liners. But that's mostly because I really enjoy like the pointillism and everything. Oh, it's pouring there? Yeah, no, we just had a lot of wind. Hi, Christina. Let's see, Shannon. Okay, I think I got everyone. How is everybody this morning? I was running a little bit late this morning, but we're here. We're doing good now. Steve's gonna bring me my tea here in just a bit. Let's see. We sort of kind of, I don't know, I didn't get as much done last time, mostly because we got distracted with the game, but it was so fun. Thank you, Steve. But we are here now, and this should be good. So let's start with these down here. I kind of want to do something kind of fun with these leaves down here. You can use water with gel pens too. I didn't know that. Let's see. Hi, Shelia. Welcome. Yeah, the fine liners are nice. Beautiful and sunny in Quebec. Nice. All right. Well, let's grab our color chart here. Let's start with dark carmine, which I think we still have out from last time. Maybe. Nope, it's right here. Is cake batter chapstick? Everything else tastes like ash. Oh no. Although please tell me you're not eating the cake batter chapstick. Well, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. Let's see, dark carmine, and let's get Scarlet Lake. Have you tried that whole, well, actually, you probably don't want useless suggestions. Somebody mentioned something about a burnt orange. I don't know. Okay. To my sister, for some reason, everything tasted like meat. Like, that's weird. I don't know why, except for meat. Meat tasted like meat. Okay, good. Oh, what about Mandy? Oh, I'm sorry, Mandy. Well, dang, Ev, I hope that subsides soon. That's no fun. All right, so dark carmine, Scarlet Lake, and then let's move into True Green, which I know I have that one out. True Green, and then let's get Hooker's Green, and let's do, let's see, Juniper or Sea Green? Whoa, really, Ev? You know, I believe that though, because when I had meningitis, like, I lost so much weight. It was ridiculous. Sounds good, Emily. Oh, nice, Barbara. I think I would just get too frustrated with smearing it all the time. That's my thing. I get so paranoid about it. So yeah, mine would definitely be the water-based markers. Claire, good morning, Claire. How are you? All right, Claire, would you rather for an entire year only color with gel pens or only water-based markers? What would you choose? All right, we're gonna move this over here. Slide this up, because we are gonna do this leaf down here at the bottom. There we go. Good morning, Michaela. Yeah, that's what I told everybody. Like, between the meningitis and like flu and then like everything else that year, I lost a lot of weight. I was having a hard time dropping the last of the baby weight, and that did it. However, not a diet I would recommend. No, but you have to, Christina. You can. Yes, you can use a water brush. That is correct. Well, the water brush, like the, what is it? The, real brush pens. The real brush pens from Artesia, you could use those. I wouldn't say just a water brush. They'd have to be water brush markers. And it says, I'm on the lookout for a great electric or battery operated sharpener, but I have no clue which type is best. Annie, I have the perfect video. Kenny or Shannon, can you link for me the video I did on the 3 Artesia electric sharpeners? Right now, Annie, I'm using this one. I've got it all decked out with, you know, its own little googly eyes and everything, but this is an Artesia brand one. It doesn't have an auto stop feature, but you get used to when it when it stops. But I did review in one video 3 Artesia electric sharpeners. This one is my favorite. It's a battery operated one, and I've been using it, gosh, a while, and I have yet to replace the battery in it. The only thing is the reservoir to hold the shavings a little small. Like right now, this is jam-packed. In fact, probably some point during stream, I'm gonna have to empty this, but highly recommend it. Yeah, fine liners. The Jar Link. Yes, I have heard about the Jar Link one. I need a paintbrush and water to get lighter colors. Ah, there you go. Claire, I never thought about that. That's a good idea. I like that. All right, let's start with the sea green. I never thought about which markers does that method work best with? Yeah, I never thought about lifting it up out of the markers. You know, Claire, you might like the real brush pens. Just because, I think I have a video on them somewhere, but just because they are a marker, but they have like brush tips on them. Not like alcohol markers do, but it's literally like a brush at the tip of it. Thank you, Kenny. But yeah, you'd probably like them a lot. Do you find that when you use the water to lift the ink out that the paper gets oversaturated? Okay, and then we're gonna use Hooker's Green. But yeah, I think I would go for water-based markers as well. Okay. But yeah, thank you to everyone who tested out that game with me the other night. That was super fun. We'll have to plan something. I'm still working on the plan for all the other stuff that we want to do, but that was definitely the trial run to see if we could manage one of those type of games, and I think it turned out really well. All right, now we're going to use True Green. And we're gonna go pretty lightly with this one because we're gonna start bringing in some red. I want this to be a mix of red and green leaf. Now the complementary colors, like if I was blending yellow, it might be a bit more easy, but because we are gonna be blending in red, we have to be really careful with our blends so that we don't have any kind of harsh line. So we're actually gonna start with our darkest red at the bottom, and then we will add our lighter one. Wait, my screen is black? I would just say try refreshing, unless anybody else has a black screen. All right, dark carmine. There we go. And then we will do the lighter red on top. Let's see, should we zoom in anymore? There we go. I can zoom in just a bit more. There we go. You have colors here, woohoo! Yeah, but I'm thinking a question of the day every time we stream would be super fun. Something coloring related. Okay. Just gonna lightly blend that in. Has anybody watched... Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know why. Hi, Cara Marinas. Welcome. How are you this morning? All right, so now we're gonna do Scarlet Lake. I'm gonna turn this a little bit. Has anybody been watching that new HBO series, Julia? It's all about Julia Child, the French chef. She used to have a show way back when. But she was like one of the first cooking shows that were out there. I knew the name Julia Child. I knew of her, but I didn't know much about her. So it's been really interesting. There's only like 3 episodes on HBO at the moment, but I found it entertaining. It's very possible, Shannon. It's very possible. Good morning, Ronnie. How are you? You're in isolation. Oh, are you fighting the COVID too? Yeah, there was a New York Times article that came out that said that there is a new variant that's going around, but even with it going around, cases aren't climbing all that much. And I talked to my doctor about it, and she said basically it's, what is it? Omicron was the one that was just kind of mild. I think that's the one that I had. But basically, this is like Omicron 2, and essentially what it is it's just people who didn't get the first Omicron are getting this one. So, I don't know. We had the first Omicron. I'm just glad to have it over and done with, that's all. Hopefully you guys will rest quickly. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I feel like I've got a sneeze coming on. Hang on. Okay, all better. Oh. Connie, good morning. How are you? All right, let's grab our colors again for a second round. We're gonna go ahead and grab sea green once again. Okay. But yeah, it's interesting. I'll be curious to see the additional episodes. Aw, well, I hope you feel better soon, Kara. Now she has it again? Yeah. It's a 2-volume cookbook as well. Yeah, that's what, yeah, that's to the beginning of the show talked about her first cookbook, and then it was talking about her, we're using Hooker's Green now. It was talking about her working on her second cookbook, and then the basis of the show is about how she got the original show going. So it's really just interesting. I mean, the struggles with, you know, being a woman in the 50s and wanting to, you know, start up kind of a business. But not only that, she felt because she was middle-aged. Yes, I did sneeze. She had some reservations because she felt like she couldn't really be on TV, and that's when TVs were just starting to come around. So anyway, it's really interesting to see the relationship dynamics and just kind of how they worked around it. And then it just made me really grateful that I live in 2022. Oh, I love that, Lisa. Yeah, well, it's because it's a different variant too. So, I mean, because Ev, you got it pretty early on. You were among the first wave of people to get it, right? Okay, so dark carmine. I don't know, but it's encouraging that even though there is a new variant, cases don't seem to be climbing an exorbitant amount. So that's something. We're using the, I don't know if I said it already, we're using the dark carmine. Okay. Shannon, I've had all the vids. I'm sure I'll get this one too. Oh goodness, Shannon. All right, Scarlet Lake. Christina, welcome to the Colorist Package. Get some hype in chat for Christina, exclamation point, hype. And now, Christina, you have access to all of these handy dandy emotes. Whenever we have new images in the Etsy store, you'll receive a discount on that as well. I feel like I missed one. Did I get them all? In fact, I'm trying to remember when, because for the new image that I just put up, the discount code might be still good for that one. I had it for a week. I would check the members tab of the community section. There is a members post there that has the coupon code. But either way, for the next one, you'll have it too. Okay, so now we're going to use sea green again. Do I want to use sea green or do I want to use a brown? Let's actually grab Van Dyke Brown. Oh, I appreciate it, Christina. All right, Van Dyke Brown. I'm pretty sure I had it out. Maybe not. Oh, wait. I think this is it right here. Yep, there it is. All right, let's get a little bit of darker side over here. I also finally watched King Richard, which is also on HBO. I really enjoyed it, actually. They did a really good job. It was a shame that everything that happened with Will Smith kind of overshadowed it, but the movie was really good. Okay, now let's go ahead and it's doing its thing. Let's see. Let's go ahead and use the sea green now. We're going to do this inner part of the leaf. The green as well. There we go. What is everybody working on at the moment? I know Angela was streaming last night. Her what was it, a Pegasus or a unicorn? I know it had wings. I can't remember if it had a horn or not. But that was looking really good. Had a fun chat about pets and pictures and photo shoots of farm animals, which definitely didn't lead me to posting pictures of baby chicks that I took pictures of in Discord, and I definitely didn't make a tiny cardboard house for said chicks and then took pictures of them in the tiny house. But to be fair, when I did that, I was like a teenager, so I had nothing better to do with my time other than make tiny cardboard houses for baby chickens and then take pictures of them. Oh, nice, Michaela. All right, now we're gonna use Hooker's Green. Neighbor's dogs are barking. I apologize if you can hear them. There we go. Okay. Stream your swatches, but I don't really know how. If you're wanting to go super simple, oh, thanks, Lisa. If finishing the stamps page from World of, oh, nice. If you wanted to go super simple, I think you can stream directly from your phone if you have a smartphone. Oh, 30 days of creativity. Gotcha. Ooh, Copic markers. Very nice. Just wish you could blow bubbles. All right, now we're going to use True Green. But yeah, I think you can stream directly from the YouTube app. And then isn't there, I know there's also an OBS app. I've only streamed from my phone once, and that's because that was when we lived at the other location and my internet went out on me and it like cut me off midstream. Trying to get comfy with Everblend. So far I'm a hot mess. It just takes practice. I'm sure you are doing wonderfully. I'm gonna take a sip of tea real quick. I'm sure you are doing amazing. Okay, let's use our Van Dyke Brown. I almost said Dick Van Dyke for some reason. Okay. So just a little bit of that brown. Now let's grab our sea green again. That's because you taste soap? Oh no. All right, sea green. Little Emily is actually home from school today. She was having a really bad allergy day. And you just wake up and you're sniffling and sneezing. Don't have a cold, but you just feel miserable. It's been super windy here. So the pollen has just been blown everywhere. So you take spring and a really windy day, then, you know. Oh, good, Lisa. I'm so glad. Awesome, Kara. All right, Hooker's Green now. Okay, and then True Green. I think we're going to add a little bit more True Green on this one as well. Okay. Then let's take a little bit of the dark carmine. We're going to add a little bit of the red down here at the base of the leaf too. And we're going to be using our blender on this as well. Just a little bit there. Just splodged on me. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Barbara. Yes, we are going to be having a super fun stream to celebrate. Probably in a couple weeks when I get a chance to get it all figured out and get it scheduled. Actually, it falls right around my birthday a couple weeks from now. And so I was thinking it might be kind of fun to do like a 15K/birthday stream. Like, it'd be really fun. I'm thinking we'll do it on a weekend during the daytime. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. Because I told him I've not been coloring. Oh, no. Well, you don't feel good. Oh, yeah. She just woke up. Her eyes were all red and puffy. She wanted some eye drops last night because she said her eyes hurt. And she's just been sneezing and sniffling and everything. And Steve gets them. So I know how you know, what she's going through. She's just tired and just, you know, just blech. Using Van Dyke Brown now. So we let her... We get a certain amount of, you know, most days have to be excused by a doctor, but we get a certain amount of parental excuse days. So we used one of our parent days today for her so she can just stay home. Because usually by the next day, they're feeling better. It's just, there's like always that one day where they just wake up and they just, everything is just awful. Exactly, Tina, exactly. I am an Aries, actually. I am an Aries. I think I'm on the cusp of a Taurus. Doing no spend April, but I'm really looking at the alcohol markers with the brush nib and bullet nib. I need to practice with alcohol markers so bad. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Yeah, she'll be better tomorrow. So I think she's downstairs watching Phineas and Ferb right now. So yeah, I am an Aries. What is that? That's the ram, I think. All right, let's use our blender. Blendy blend blend. Oh my gosh, I can't put it in the sharpener. But yeah, I really have no plans for my birthday, short of doing a special stream. Probably eat some sort of cake. We just did that ice skating, so little Emily was asking me if I wanted to go ice skating for my birthday. I'm like, Mommy's okay. Mommy's okay. We're gonna leave that for you guys' activity, and I'm just gonna keep my feet planted firmly on the ground if that's okay with you. Fire sign, Ram. Okay. So what does that mean? I haven't looked into astrology all too much. So what exactly is a ram and fire personality? Does it match with what you know of me? That's the question. All right, we're gonna use a little bit of dark carmine, and I want to put some on the side here. I know that a diamond is my birthstone, so that's pretty cool. Coloring challenge for the page 36 in Kirby's new book, and I'm already struggling to color it. Kara, thank you. Get some hypes in chat for Kara. No, that's fair. Not everybody does. I think if I ever look into it, it's always just for fun. Get some... Oh, wait. I put in the wrong emotes. Hang on. Happy emotes. There we go. Hi, Marilyn. Watercolor markers is your choice. I like it. I like it. Scorpio. Wait, what's page 36 of the new book? Hang on. Now I want to grab the Kirby book and look real quick. Who was running that one? Let's see. Is it Mythic World? Yeah, it's Mythic World. Ooh, my bookshelf is I don't know how it is that I've got a second bookshelf and yet my books are still so packed in that I can hardly grab them. Okay. Yeah, just for fun. Oh, Barbara, I'm so sorry. You know, that's okay. When you're not feeling your best, when I'm not feeling good, I'm certainly not picking up my color books. If anything, I just want to sit and stare at the TV. I feel like it takes a little bit of brain power. All right, let's go to page 36. Oh, that's weird. Got a weird print on that. Page 36 is... Okay, the butterfly check. I think that whenever I tackle this, I haven't decided if it's one that I want to do on stream because his books are just so intimidating. But I really like this page, page 58. I think that one could turn out really pretty. I just can't quite visualize it yet. A lady who knows exactly what she wants in life and will boldly go where others fear to tread, dealing head on with anything that's thrown at her. I'd say it depends on the situation, because there are definitely times where I'm like, no, thanks. I'm gonna go hide. Loyal, passionate, ambitious, adventurous, and assertive. The Aries woman is a fire creature, likes being in charge. Okay, I will say about the assertive thing, because definitely when Steve and I got married, I was definitely the more assertive one, and he, what was it? There was something that happened the other day, and we were just taking care of some sort of businessy thing, and he really doesn't like calling like customer service and stuff. And so usually I do that, but there was something that he was doing, and he was assertive, and he called him back and told him what was what. And he's like, "You'd be proud of me." I was like, "I am proud of you." That's right, Kenny. Isn't your birthday, aren't you in Aries as well? Your birthday's this month too, right? I seem to remember. I want to say April as well. Okay. Let's see. Let's add a little bit more here. I think for the kids, like, they think of their birthday. So when I ask them what we should do for my birthday, I'm using the sea green. Like, they automatically think, you know, like balloons and piñatas. Although in hindsight, I mean, I suppose if I had a piñata, I wouldn't be upset. It depends on what's in the piñata. My first thought was pencils, but I don't think I'd want anybody whacking a big piñata full of pencils and having them all fall on the ground. I feel like that would be mildly disastrous. Okay, let's do one more of these leaves so you can see what it looks like when you do one behind it, and then we'll move on to another leaf and I'll color the rest of these off stream. So let's start with the sea green again. Oh, very nice, Tina, very nice. Let's see, if I had a piñata, what would I want to put in the piñata? Like, a bunch of candy doesn't appeal to me. Maybe some candy. It would have to be an indoor piñata because I'd want it full of Reese's. And it was 94 degrees yesterday. And can you imagine doing a piñata full of Reese's in 94 degrees in Texas? That'd be like piñata mush. Like, I don't see that going well. Let's see, let's lighten that just a little bit. There we go. So definitely, ooh, coloring birthday get together. That would be nice. My son takes us to the store to buy toys for each parent's respective birthday. Then we wrap the toy and the parent gets a toy for their birthday. I love it. It would be fun. The closest I can get to something like that is when I stream on my birthday. Which, I don't know that it'll be on my birthday, but maybe we'll do like a 15K / my birthday celebration. That'll give me enough time to plan it all out. All right, Hooker's green. Plus, it's just kind of fun. I get to hang out with all of you guys. I still need to find a good cake option that's gluten-free that Steve can either buy or make. Wait, who was it? Didn't somebody say that like H-E-B has gluten-free cakes? That could be an option. Because I mean, I could make my own gluten-free cake, but you're not supposed to make your own cake on your birthday. Okay, I didn't leave quite enough room for the red, so we're gonna go ahead and start in with our red now. Okay, now we're gonna use dark carmine. The problem with any kind of coloring birthday get together here is, although yes, I have friends, I don't have too many friends that color. It's like most of my friends that color words are hard, exclamation point words, are all online friends. Like, I have some that are like mildly interested, but not to the degree that I am. Women ruled by the sign of Aries possess an impeccable sense of style, yet despite all this elegance, they remain children at heart. I wouldn't say that my sense of style is impeccable. I'm literally wearing, see if you guys can see it. I'm literally wearing space pants today and a t-shirt from a Twitch streamer. So I wouldn't say that my taste is impeccable, but I'm definitely a child at heart. Sizzling personalities, being a fire sign always indicates a woman who is creative in unique ways. Okay, that one's fairly accurate. I can get on board with that one. Yes, I have. I absolutely have. Yeah, the King Arthur one is good. And then I get the measure to measure flower. See, I did. But the problem is like two of my closest friends, Like I stopped at 2 babies, but they are not that it's a bad thing, but my children are all older. They're a little bit younger than me, and they are still having children. So they each have 3 right now and are planning more. So they don't have a ton of time for it. And so I think unless you have a big interest in it, it's hard to set aside that time. So that's the problem there. And I'll be honest, most of my in real life friends are all friends that I met when the kids were toddlers. So I have mostly mom friends who are still continuing to have babies. And I'm just like, I'm good with my 2. So consequently, our schedules don't match up super awesome. All right, sap green. And then the pandemic hit, which just made it like even more difficult. In fact, I would say probably if I talk to people the most, it's probably like my mother and my sisters, but none of them live here. So, you know, this, honestly, streaming is probably a big aspect of my social life. All right, hooker green, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm very much a homebody. Like, especially since the pandemic hit, I really don't enjoy going out and doing like group activities. All right, true green. If anything, I'm like looking around going, there's a lot of people here. Can I go home yet? I'm an extroverted introvert. Oh, that could be fun, Barbara. All right, dark carmine. The one time I went to a coloring meetup here in town in the hopes of finding, you know, like like-minded people in real life, it turned out to be like an Usborne kind of get together. And I remember sitting at this table with this woman. There were a few people there, but there were these 2 friends, and they were coloring with only gel pens. And somebody, let's see, Scarlett, like somebody bumped the table, and this woman got legitimately mad because the table bump, because she was using gel pens, made her go out of the lines. And she got legitimately like angry at this woman for bumping the table. And I'm like, oh, you're a little intense. It's okay. If it gets too bad, you could just put a sticker on it, you know? Just what Dee Dee Williams said. It's okay. You can put a sticker on it. But she was just like really intense. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know that this is going to work out. Yeah, right? Right, Sapphire? I was just like, all right, well, we clearly have some very strong feelings about our coloring page here. Everything's okay. Yeah, introverted extrovert. That's exactly it. I do get, you know, re-energized. Like, I'm always energized after stream, but, you know, nowadays you get me in a real situation and I'm just like, I'm okay. Thanks, though. I'm gonna go home now. Thanks, Michaela. Gel penning is serious business. I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, whew. All right, slow your roll, lady. Like it's okay. I promise. Everything's gonna be fine. It's just a little out of the line. Not a big deal. We'll all be okay. All right, then Hooker's Green. Yeah, the King Arthur brand of gluten-free stuff is all really, really good. The King Arthur brand and I call it UDI. I don't know if you're supposed to call it UDI, but either way, that one's also really good. All right, true green. All right, let's use our Van Dyke brown. Oh, the brand of that flower, yes. Tina, I'm an introverted introvert. I like it. Van Dyke brand. You know, it's funny, like, for the most part, you know, short of post-pandemic, I've always been a pretty extroverted person. And so it was interesting. As an adult, I was really reminded of kind of like how an introvert, like a true introvert really is, because like I have this friend and we had been, we went to high school together, and you know, we weren't super close in high school, but we kind of got in touch over Facebook, and we had been having all kinds of great conversations on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, it'd be fun. You know, let's go bring our kids and, you know, we'll meet up for lunch. And we did. And all of a sudden she was just like the conversation was so difficult because she just like didn't talk much like in real life. And it's not that the kids were distracting or anything. She just, yeah, just didn't react well to like in person hanging out. And then I remember like, oh wait, yeah, that's right, she is an introvert. And I realized, and that was just a very good definition that, you know, online and she, it's interesting because she does live streaming too, not here on YouTube. She does games over on Twitch, but you know, she's talks a ton on there. But it's like once we hang out in person, it was just like, this conversation is really difficult. I'm just a plain introvert. Exactly. I've used like the generic like HEB brand before. I don't know. I know all my brands really well now, but like regular flour, I don't buy too much of. I usually get unbleached. Okay, so this is what the rest of this leaf is gonna look like, and then we'll do that. We've got this here, we've got this leaf here that is not connected. We have the mysterious floating leaf. Ah, gotcha, Christina, gotcha. Okay, so let's shift on over and let's do these flowers here. So we did this one, let's do this one. I want to do like a blue and yellow. So let's see. Oh, thanks, Sapphire. Let's see, this one is aquamarine. That's not what I want. Let's open up our colors here. Let's see, what do we have? Eating bleach is bad, people. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, you know, there's bleached and unbleached and wheat. Like, I don't know, but I never get the bleached flour. Like, I see the word bleach and I'm like, that doesn't sound very appealing. I'm gonna get the unbleached. I'm gonna choose the one with all the non-bleaching, if that's cool with you. All right, true blue. I'm an introvert with highly developed social skills. That sentence cost me a fortune. Okay, so true blue, and then we're gonna do light blue, and then, let's see. Let's grab deep cobalt, just in case we wanna do that one. Let's see. Yeah, don't do Tide Pods. Tide Pods is a really bad idea. Let's grab light chrome and cream. I mean, why do they even make bleached flour? Do people just really not like their flour to be like, it needs to be completely white? I don't know. When I'm making cookies, it all turns out brown anyway. So why does it matter if your flour's bleached or not? I mean, it doesn't even make a difference when you're like making white bread. Okay, so we're gonna work on this one now. And let's start with a little bit of the deep cobalt. A little bit of pencil flex on here. There we go. Okay, so deep cobalt. Just a little bit here, and we can always darken up a little bit. I didn't know that was a thing. White flour was a sign of wealth. Okay, that's fair. But I mean, these days, it just doesn't make sense. Yes, I'm going to bring my white loaf of bread to the potluck, and then they'll think I'm all fancy in my Honda Civic. I've eaten a lot of things, including feminine hygiene products. It's a visual thing. That's fair. That's fair. Peasants say brown. Ah, you peasants. Brown bread is delicious. I mean, I don't use whole wheat flour anymore. I'm definitely more of like an almond and some sort of tapioca flour blend kind of gal, but... All right, true blue now. We want to make sure we leave enough room for the yellow at the end. Honestly, I think if I make anything next... I don't know, the kids have been wanting oatmeal cookies. That could work. Okay, so we're just using that true blue. I'm going really light to begin with because I'm going to be blending the colors. Yeah, you are beneath me with your unbleachable flour. That's my super posh, rich person voice. Oh, yes, I will only eat the white flour. More bleach, please. Because also, apparently, I'm male. I have no fancy female voice. Social constructs through bread. Social constructs through bread, exactly. Chocolate peanut butter oatmeal cookies? Oh, Shannon. That's right. You like that, Kenny? Yeah, almond, whole wheat. Exactly. All right, let's see. Light blue. Well, see, the reason they want oatmeal cookies is apparently little Emily had gotten some oatmeal cookies at school, some sort of individually packaged oatmeal cookies. And at one point she told me, thanks, Kenny. You like that, Ronnie? At one point she told me that she had these oatmeal cookies in her backpack. And I was like, okay, great. But she must have told me like on the way home from school, and my brain goes all over the place. So I'm not going to remember some sort of cookies, but she told me once and she didn't tell Steve. And so a couple days ago, she's like, Mommy, why are these oatmeal cookies still in my backpack? And I'm like, I don't know, what oatmeal cookies? And she's like, I told you. I was like, I don't remember any of that, kid. You got to tell me things more than once. All right, light chrome. So now she's lamenting her old oatmeal cookies in the backpack. And so now I need to make some replacement oatmeal cookies for the oatmeal cookies that I had no idea existed. Hi, Cheryl. All right, so now we're going to use cream. It's definitely going to turn a little bit green when they blend together. And we may actually end up using white on this petal. It's the joys of having small children that assume that you will remember the first, everything they tell you, despite the fact that you have to tell them something at least 5 times for them to actually go do it. But I was like, kiddo, Mama's got a lot on her mind and she has a hard enough, trapping anything in her brain. Like you got to tell me, like, not just once while I'm driving in the middle of very busy traffic. You got to tell me a few times, hun. Or at least write it down and hand me a note, or, sticky note it to my forehead. Like that's going to be your best bet. Like yesterday when Steve was coming home late, I asked him like, oh, can you pick up such and such a thing from the store on your way home? He's like, oh, can you text me to remind me? And I just laughed. I'm like, probably not. Like, who is the rememberer in this family? It is not I. All right, light blue. Like, nope, that's probably not gonna happen. Okay, I am gonna try white on this. I don't think I want to, because the blend between the yellow and the blue, I'm not entirely happy with. So we're gonna use white to blend this, and then we'll darken it up. Let's see, are we zoomed in? Yeah, we're zoomed in as much. Okay, so let's use our white now. Oop. There we go. We're gonna start using it on the yellow part though, because I don't want to drag the blue into the yellow. And then we can layer a little bit more on top of this. There we go, I like that. Okay, so now we're gonna go deep cobalt again. Go over it just a little bit. It is quite a bit lighter. Just darken up some of these spots here. Or someone asked me to remind them something later. I always ask them to remind them. Absolutely right. I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa. I have no idea what you're talking about. See? What snap? I didn't hear a snap. Like that tying a string on your finger to remember. I would just look at it later in the day and go, why is there a string on my finger? Like, who did this to me? Like, I wouldn't remember that I put it on my finger at all. Like, my brain is just non-functional the way it should be sometimes, which doesn't bode well considering I'm only 36. Aw, thank you, Tina. I can only imagine what I'm gonna be like when I'm like in my 60s. They're gonna be like, well, did you brush your hair today? I'm like, what hair? I have hair? I don't even know. What? Who said that? Who are you? All right, and then cream. Like, I'm going to be a joy to live with. Like, I just told Steve, I'm like, I hope you're prepared for this. Like, things are not good now. Like, when we're old, I'm gonna need you, or, older. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to be helping me out because I got nothing. I'm just gonna be like 80 and like 90 or whatever and be like, hey, I don't know where I left anything. Help. Thanks, Cheryl. All right, so deep cobalt. So you just got to marry someone else that's actually, he can drive. Oh, good, Ronnie. He can drive somewhere once and never have to look it up again. Right? That's exactly what it is, Tina. He can literally go somewhere once and he will never have to look up a map to that location ever again. Like, I have a friend's house who I like have been there 20 times, and I probably still need to pull up Google Maps so that I can like remember which road to take. Right? It's crazy. Like I just have a complete inability to like retain anything. All right, so now we're gonna use deep cold again. We're gonna do this one, and we'll do the inside, and then we'll move on to a leaf. That way we'll have considerably more done by the time we come back on Friday. In an ideal world, Friday will be our last day with this page, but we'll see how far we get today. I mean, it's not even 11 o'clock yet, so I think we're doing great. The idea is to jump around and do a little bit on each flower so that if you're following along, you know what you want to do. So like, for instance, let's zoom out for a second. This flower down here is the same as this flower over here. Although that's another blue flower. I don't think I will do this one the same. I think we'll do this one like maybe a reddish one or something. But I don't know that I want to put blue and blue next to each other, so I take that back. Right? Get lost in them all? Oh, I absolutely do. Yeah, my memory leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, that's pretty much mine right there. Like, nope. I'll come down the stairs and I'll look at Steve and I'll be like, I have no idea why I'm here. Do you know why I'm here? Like, I'm just like, I got nothing. I got nothing. Yeah, Connie. But no, if anything, I just appreciate his ability to remember things. I'm like, I'm so glad that we're married. Like, I don't know where I would be at this point. I would probably be lost in the middle of a forest. Just be like, I don't know how I got here. I'm not sure how long I've been here, but it can't be good. Can someone please send up a flare? Did anyone remember to bring the flares? Like, when we're going on trips, I cannot just do things by memory. I have to make a list. Like, we went to Austin, and you know what I nearly forgot? My toothbrush and toothpaste. Like, we were doing last-minute checks, and I came up, and I checked in the bathroom, and there's my toothbrush and toothpaste just sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have had fuzzy teeth for, like, this entire trip. Do another stem like you did by the purple flower, please. I love the color combo. Missed it the first time. For the brown and the green, this one here. Yeah, I kind of added the brown. I had mentioned it on the first stream, and then I had added the brown. But yeah, we can do more of that. That's just fine. Absolutely. I cannot remember why I'm on the bathroom floor. Yeah, pretty much. Hi, Julie. I once went to a sleepover and forgot both my toothbrush and my sleeping bag. Yep, that's exactly me. Yeah, sounds good, Sunshine. Of course I can do that. Okay, so light blue. We'll find a good place for one. Okay, then let's grab our light chrome. And that's the thing, like, I've got the chalkboards up, I've got sticky notes all around me, I've got my dry erase board where I like write all of my ideas for videos and everything, because a lot of times too, like, I'll just have everything stirring around in my head and I'll forget things. I'm like, you know what? I will feel so much better if I can just write these things down and not think about it anymore. Aw, thank you, Sunshine. All right, we're gonna use our white now, and we're gonna blend these colors. But that's why I have like a bajillion notebooks. Like, I try to write down like all the things that I need to remember, like when I go to the doctors, because then otherwise I'm just like, I know I inevitably forget things. And so now I'm just like, you know what? So I just took one of my notebooks and I've been just like keeping track of everything there. And that way when I go see her, I can be like, okay, look, I wrote everything down, and then I don't have to worry about remembering it. Of all the roads for people to walk down, why did they choose mine? Wait, really? Is there like somebody you don't want someone to walk down? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I easily like forget things all the time. All right, deep cobalt. Honestly, that's a big part of the reason why I can't keep any plants alive. The garden out back is still alive, but that's also because little Emily helps with that one, and she's like, can I water the garden? I'm like, sure. Like, I remembered to do Miracle Grow on it yesterday. I'm beginning to think, though, that for the strawberries, I should have got one of those standing, oh, the dogs lose their minds. Oh, that would do it. Yeah, our neighbors, so we're only allowed, let's see, True Blue, we're only allowed a certain number of pets. And our neighbors definitely have more than what we're allowed. and the mowers were coming by the other day. And I happened to look out my window, and my neighbor was in a sweatshirt and her underpants, running around trying to corral all the dogs before the mowers got there. And I'm like, there were some life choices that were made here. Just gonna roll with it. But okay. Yeah, it was pure chaos. I don't remember what I was saying before I lost. See, I don't remember what I was saying. I don't know where I am. I always think of Belinda and Doctor Who when I say that one. Okay, let's do the inside here, and let's do, ooh, you know what would be pretty? A little bit of orange. Let's see. Dark orange, maybe? I think dark orange would be nice. I don't know. See, I want a dog, but then I see things like my neighbor and the Pillsbury bark off. And then I'm just like, maybe I'm glad we have cats and a hamster. All of my pets are contained. I mean, Nibbles is only awake at night, and I just have to remember to, you know, we've got the chalkboard up on the wall now where we mark when we cleaned his habitat last. So I just need to, you know, make sure to remember to clean his cage, give him his veggies, and, you know, we play with them and everything like that. But they're all pretty low key, rather than, you know, panicking and, oh, bump the mic, running around in my underpants in the backyard trying to corral the animals. That doesn't really appeal to me, I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's see, orange, yellow. I mean, I would never make her feel like guilty about it by any means, but it was just, 'twas interesting. Let's see, but I'm like not the kind of neighbor to tattle on and be like, they have 5 dogs, like, why are, you know. So, you know, to each his own. They're nice neighbors. They're quiet, so, you know. I have no key that's low. I have no animal that's low key. None. A baby bubble. Aw. All right, cream. Well, it's interesting. Whenever Steve has appointments or meetings, on his days that he works from home, Paul will like immediately jump up on his lap, kind of like he does for here. But yeah, I don't know. The cats are so chill. Like our oldest cat, like I don't know how many years we have left with her, but if I could clone her, I probably would. She is just like, she's just the best cat. We've had her for years, and sometimes Steve and I'll look at her. Like we've had her since Steve and I first started dating. So I mean, she's an old kitty. Wait, raccoon? Shannon, do you have a pet raccoon? And how is the raccoon low key? Thanks, Kenny. Okay, let's go ahead and do for the middle. Let's see, how do I want to do the middle? Let's take a little bit of this Scarlet Lake. Just a little bit. Okay, and then let's take the, let's see, what color was that? The orange yellow. Oh, you have a dog named Raccoon. I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa. Nope. You have a dog named Raccoon. Okay, okay. So there's this woman on Instagram. The Instagram is Juniper Fox. And for the most part, she raises rescue foxes, usually ones that can't be released back into the wild, ones that she rescued from fur farms, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the things that we're going to use white now to take this blue out of this yellow. She happened to rescue a raccoon at the same time as one of these baby foxes that she brought in. And somebody made the comment I thought was pretty funny. Like, yeah, you've already got all these foxes. Now let's bring in an animal with, I am so gullible. It's not even funny. She brought home this raccoon, and somebody was like, so you have foxes. And then you thought, let's bring in an animal that has the intelligence of the fox, but has hands and opposable thumbs. Because that's basically what you have in a raccoon. All right, let's grab our Van Dyke Brown. My cat is 10 this year, but will always be a baby. Her name is Poppy. Aw, I love that. Yeah, and hello, Durbin. Okay, my tea is here. My sharpener is here. I legitimately almost reached for my sharpener to drink my tea. My brain is clearly on point today. Yeah, she's lived for a while. But she's like, I think she'll live a while. Like, I think we've still got a few more years with her. We're going to use Van Dyke Brown because we keep up on her blood work to make sure she's got nothing else going on. And, you know, short of just natural old lady stuff, you know, she's a pretty healthy cat. In fact, the vet said that she was abnormally healthy. So that's got to be good, right? An abnormally healthy cat. I'll take it. Trash Panda! Exactly. Hi, Dominique. How are you? I think a trash panda would be really cute, but also kind of would get into everything. I think if I were to choose any pet, not taking into consideration whether or not they're an exotic pet or getting into everything, and honestly, I think a monkey would be cute. I mean, again, would get into everything and would be total chaos, but I think a monkey would be cute. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Gosh, it's not even 11. Exactly. Doing well, Dominique. How are you? I know, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I know that we've only got a couple years left, but I'm trying not to dwell on like, oh, it's only a little while. But when in reality, I don't want to spend the next 5 years thinking, oh, it's just a little while and not enjoy her while she's here. So, you know. But, you know, we're definitely gentle with her. You know, she gets carried up the stairs. She can go up the stairs. It just takes her a little longer. Sap green. So when it's mealtime, she gets carried up the stairs and she gets pampered and she gets to sleep on the bed. And, you know, she's our old lady. We have 2 low-key and 2 who are a handful. Yeah, she's the low-key one. Paul can be sweet and snuggly when he wants, but Annie is just like, she is afraid of everything and she has chaos incarnate. Okay, so we're gonna do this leaf here. We're gonna do sap green and let's see, sap green, true green, and light green I think would be good. So that's light green and true green. Is that what I said? Yeah, sap green, true green, and light green. That's a big jump though. Let's also grab emerald green. Do we have that one? Here it is. They are so adorable. Okay, so we're gonna have, I don't know if we'll use all of them, but this one's a pretty big leaf. So we're gonna have sap green, emerald green, true green, and light green. So we're gonna start with the sap green. Move that up just a little bit. With my first cat, I dreaded the end. She went over the Rainbow Bridge at 9. With Poppy, I don't think about the end. Yeah, exactly. So we've had one cat that went over the Rainbow Bridge. However, he was also ill. He had pancreatitis, and so that limited his lifespan. And so that was something. And the kids were little. They still kind of remember it every now and then. It definitely stuck with them. But yeah, he definitely went before his time. I think he actually was about 9 when he went. Every now and then I'll come across pictures of him. But I think our older kitty, you know, every time a pet goes, it's always sad. But I think our older kitty, I think is going to be, just because she's been around for so long, you know? Anyway, like I said, I try not to dwell on it and just enjoy her while she can. And, you know, she always likes to rub her face on me and then gets her nose wet like all over my arm. And I'm like, kitty, stop it. And she's just like, no. The funny thing is, now everybody has voices for their pets, right? Like everybody has voices that they do. Like, you know, Annie, her voice is like some sort of like manic, chaotic, like, ah, kind of cat. And Paul's just like, hey, hey. And then, you know, our older kitty, we're just like, she's kind of like got an Eeyore voice a little bit. And here's the funny thing. Is little Steve picked out a book at his book club called No Fuzzball, and it's about this cat who is pretty positive that his name is, or her name is No Fuzzball, because that's what her family says all the time, because she's always getting into things. But the funny thing is so little Steve, he's getting pretty good at reading, and he read this book, but the hilarious part was, he read it in this monotone voice that we do for our older cat, and he was just hilarious, just because he's getting to the stage now where he does inflections and like notices where the commas are and like reads with more intention, and it was just the funniest thing. Aw, that's nice, Leslie. Yeah, exactly. Thoroughly snuggled. But yeah, each one of our pets has a different like voice. And like I said, Annie's is the most chaotic. All right, emerald green. But it's because she's literally like afraid of everything. Like I was cleaning up the office and I had a pair of shoes, and it's a newer pair of shoes, but she saw it in the hallway, and she did that thing where they kind of crouch down real low and they kind of get close to it and then like jerk back every little bit. If I sneak up on her and like I touch like her back or something, she just flips out. It is just the funniest thing. She is just so afraid of everything. Okay, now we're not using very much emerald green here because I want to fit in those 4 colors. So we're doing our first layer. We can always add in more after we have all of the colors mapped out. But it's just, she is just scaredy kitty. But Paul's turning in, it's funny, you know, we got him as a therapy cat, just, you know, I don't know, it's not like he had any official training, but he really has turned into a therapy cat. Like when I get into bed at night, he immediately comes up and he'll just like drape across my neck, and that's where we fall asleep at. And there's something about his purring. Yeah, nervy Mew Mew. Yeah, she's just, and I think I mentioned it here before, but the interesting thing is she also really hates loud noises. Anytime, like if I'm upstairs and I'm hollering down at the kids or, you know, whatever else, if I holler at one of them, she will meow at me because she doesn't like the loud noises. And I'm like, okay, well, you go tell him such and such a thing. But the funny thing is we have a friend who has Annie's sister, and Annie's sister also hates loud noises. Whenever, like the woman who has her, like if she has to holler at the dogs, like she doesn't like it. And it's so funny because I just got to wonder, like, is this a genetic thing? Do they have sensitive ears, or did something happen when they were kittens? Because the 2 sisters were found together and they were underweight. And so somebody was able to bring their weight up, but it was just them 2. I don't remember where they were found exactly, but they were abandoned, and they found them and, you know, got them up, and then they got them in homes and everything. But it was just, it's interesting that neither of them like loud noises, but it's also kind of nice that we can keep up with the sisters. I think it's cute. Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible. Okay, so let's use light green now, and we're just gonna fill in the rest of this. I just found it so interesting that they had that kind of familial bond. Sipping my tea here. I do wish sometimes, especially when you have a rescue, that you could know like their story from start to finish, like how did they end up there? Because it was just the 2 of them, and so it wasn't like it was a whole litter of kittens that was abandoned. I can't remember if somebody abandoned them or if they were like strays. I don't recall the entire story. I just know that someone abandoned, or you know, they were abandoned, and there were some people at a feed store that took care of them, and then from there they found homes. But the woman who has her sister, we keep in touch, but we run into her in town every now and then, and we'll swap pictures and everything. And it's funny because Annie's sister, Annie is essentially a black cat, but her sister is like a long-haired calico cat. So I don't know how you get rid of the paper tooth yet still keep your colors so light. I follow along, but I always end up with paper showing. So right now, this clearly has some tooth in it. Like, let's see if we can get real close and you can see. You'll be able to see the difference between the blue and the green. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait, I hit the wrong button. No, I'm hitting the wrong button. Turn off. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's darken this a little bit. Okay, so this one has been blended with white, and the tooth seems to go away. Let's see if we can get this even closer. Sorry, my hands are got the shakes this morning. But you see, you can still see the tooth in this one. But once we blend it, that will help make it go away. Me too, Sapphire, me too. Funny thing is all of our cats, all of them are rescues. Paul, so Oliver, the one that we had before, we got him from a shelter. But our older kitty, Isis, she actually just showed up on Steve and I's front porch when we were dating. It was the middle of a rainstorm. I guess the neighbors had been feeding her, but she was like a true stray. And so we opened the door and she kind of walked right in. This was, you know, before me like ever considering like, oh, what if she has fleas? What if she has, you know, but we didn't have any other pets at the time, so it wasn't a big deal. We opened the door and she walked right in, and I stupidly gave her tuna that night. You can imagine how much fun that was to clean up later. But I was not much of a pet owner when we came across her. But she chose us, walked in, and never really left. Like, I carried her around, we checked for a chip, we put up signs, and no one ever claimed her or anything. And so we just, we ended up keeping her. And then Paul, we got from a shelter here in town. And then, yeah, and then Annie we got from that lady, but well, since 2015, but yeah, it takes practice, just lots of practice. Oh, she absolutely did. She absolutely did. All right, emerald green. I've always said that if I had any of my cats that I ever did a DNA test, I guess like dog DNA tests are a bit more accurate than cat DNA tests are. But if I ever got a DNA test done on any one of our pets, it would be Isis, because she has got the prettiest like blue eyes. She's got really thick fur, but she is a what they call a torby. So she's like a tortoise and a tabby mix. She's just the prettiest cat. I've posted pictures of her in the pet channel on Discord before, but I'm just so curious because she's a short hair, but it's just so thick. Some of my neighborhood left, and now 6 strays show up in my yard to eat every day. Aww. Get them all fixed? Oh, that'd be awesome, Barbara. That's the thing. Where we lived before at the apartments, there were stray cats out there, and every spring we ended up with kittens. In fact, if you go to my Insta, profile, and you have the highlights you can save, in the pets one, if you go along in it, you will find a video that I did of the kittens a couple springs ago. And in fact, we did get them all, I'm using True Green now. We got them all adopted out and everything. And so they all found homes. So that was really nice. And we were able to catch and release because the mama cat was very feral. We were able to get her fixed and release her back into her colony. And so when we left, they were working on getting all of the colony, spayed and neutered. So, sometimes they're just so feral, you can't rehome them. But the next best thing was that they were able to spay her so that she doesn't have any more kittens. Infamous Tortitude? Actually, no. She is the chillest cat. She is so calm. Like, she has always just been, she's super snuggly. She just likes to sleep. She loves to lay in clean laundry, but no, she is just light green. I'm telling you, she has just been the perfect cat. Like, she's just so chill and not cranky. Well, she's cranky in a way that she's like an old lady kitty, and she really doesn't want to deal with Annie's shenanigans. And Annie's like, let's play, let's be best friends, yeah! And she's jumping all over, and Isis is just like, oh my god. And so she will hiss at her to put her in her place. But no, she just likes to sleep, likes to cuddle, likes to snuggle, and she likes her food. You better not miss her food. And sometimes, so she has a few tummy issues, and so every now and then we'll need to do a couple days of like, I'll cook up some white rice. I'm using sap green right now. I'll cook up some white rice, and I'll boil up some chicken, and then she gets that with water, but she gets like this special meal. And so, when she gets that stuff, she loves it, and she goes and hangs out in the kitchen. She's like, I'm not moving. She's a beggar. She's definitely a beggar. She likes people food. She doesn't get it very often. She'll occasionally get the stray piece of, like unsalted meat or a piece of cheese, but that's like the highlight of her day. That's definite tortitude right there. Okay. Oh, Barbara, that'd be amazing. Oh, there's an orange cat. I've mentioned it before. There's an orange stray that's around here where we live. I only see her maybe once or twice a month. But last time I saw her, she had a very definite pregnant belly. And I tried to coax her with some wet food or, try to get her to come to me, but she was just not having it. And I haven't seen her since I saw the pregnant belly. We're using the blender now. But she definitely had some kittens coming. Like, absolutely. And she looked like a young kitty, too. So I was like, oh, kitty. But it's probably for the best, because then I would try and convince Steve to let us keep the kittens. Oh, right, Barbara? Yeah, it's hard here too, especially because when we did the kittens with the mama before, that was during the pandemic, and like nobody was accepting any more kittens because of the pandemic, and the shelters were packed. I mean, spring is always hard on shelters anyway. All right, let's get the sea green. Actually, let's do juniper green. Juniper green and let's see. Juniper green and apple green, I think. That'd be an interesting combination. My previous Mew Pixie was a tortie. I once gave her different litter from her usual and she pooped on my bed. Okay, no, she did do that before. If we were delayed at all in cleaning her box, she has notoriously chosen to relieve herself in various locations throughout the house. She is very picky about her litter. All right, juniper green. We have a couple extra litter boxes just because we have the 3 cats, so we don't just do one, obviously. But if we are delayed in nothing. If we are delayed in scooping it for any reason, she's like, nope, this is what you get. And then we're like, thanks, cat. Yeah, that's the tortitude, exactly. All right, now we're gonna use apple green. But, okay, so yeah, she does have a bit of a tortitude. You know, I just chalk it up to, at this point, she's nearly 15 years old. She likes what she likes, and that's not gonna change anytime soon. For months, that COVID just, oh, dang. Yeah, I ended up finding, because I had a lot of shelters and stuff that turned me down. We're using sap now. We're going to do this other leaf, and then we'll move on to something else. I had a lot of shelters that turned me down, but I was able to find this like separate rescue that doesn't do a lot of stuff, but because they weren't super well known, they had a little bit of extra room, and so they went ahead and were able to trap it and everything. It's just a couple ladies that ran it, but I was so grateful because it's just like every spring we'd have kittens, and there have been some litters that haven't made it because they got caught in a rainstorm or whatever, and it just broke my heart every time, and I was like, we have to do something about these kittens. All right, now we're gonna use light green, which we were finally able to, so that made it really nice. So I'm not doing the emerald green on this one just because we don't have as much room, but we went from sap green to light green, and we're gonna throw in a little bit of true green here, and then we will go ahead and blend that through, and then we'll do the juniper and the apple green in the middle. Okay, so now let's use our blender. There we go. Okay, then let's use the juniper green. There we go. And then the apple green. There we are. Let's see. Let's take a little bit of the dark carmine. Pop in just a little bit where these leaves overlap. A little bit of that red contrast color to help show the shadow. Okay, so there's those leaves. Let's zoom out for a second. Move the pencils right over here. All right, let's see. I want to do that kind of blend stem for you. So let's take a look here. So let's see, this one will be done, this one will be done, these leaves here will be done. I'll probably do these leaves in the same here because this is all kind of the same bunch. So this whole section here will be done. And then this one here, let's move up to here and do these ones. And then we can do that brown and green blend on these ones. So let's shift these pencils right over there. There we go. All right, and let's zoom on in here, and let's actually start with the stems. So let's start with juniper green. I imagine that these are some sort of cherry blossom kind of style, so we'll probably do pink on these ones. So let's start with juniper green, and then we'll move on to true green. There we go. And this is gonna fade into the brown. So now let's see, true green is over here. Thank you, Connie. Thank you so much for being here. All right, true green. We're not gonna bring it all the way down. And then let's grab let's look at our chart real quick, double check on our greens here. We're gonna grab the dark sepia and the Van Dyke brown. Do I have that here? That's wine red. Here's the dark sepia. Okay, so now we're gonna grab the dark sepia. I'm gonna start that there, and we're gonna bring it up. I think I also did a raw umber. Let's see, that's Indian red. light ochre. Ah, here we go. Okay, raw umber, here we are. Okay, now let's grab the Van Dyke brown. There we go. Let's see, can we zoom in anymore? Yeah, there we go. All right, so Van Dyke brown. Just gonna bring some of that in just a little bit. Then we're gonna grab our raw umber. We might even grab the brown ochre as well. So just a little bit of the raw umber. Then we're gonna grab, let's grab our true green because I want a little bit of true green here. Okay, and then the brown ochre. It's more of a yellow, and we're gonna trail that up into the green. And then we're gonna do another layer to kind of even things out. Basically, we mapped out, hi Rini, welcome. We're mapping out where all the colors go, and then the second layer can be for when you make them a little bit darker. Okay, so true green. Bring some of that green down into there. We're actually gonna skip the sepia. We're gonna go straight to the Van Dyke, go over the sepia. The sepia can be pretty strong, so you want to use your darker colors sparingly. Okay, and then let's use the raw umber. Bring that up like so. And then we'll use the brown ochre. So it's just kind of a slow blend, kind of like we did with the greens and the reds. Now let's get our blender, give it a quick sharpen. And we're gonna blend that in. Just basically using it not to blend so much as just burnish the paper. Okay, so now let's actually do these little bitty leaves here. Let's stick with the juniper. Okay, do a little bit there. A little bit there. Same thing on this side. And then the true green. Hi, Allie. It's Steve. Hi, Steve. All right, and then let's do the true green. We're gonna leave just a little bit of white at the top there. Well, we will probably add the light green. There we go. Okay, and then let's grab our light green. There we go. All right, and then for the inside of it, we're actually gonna grab our juniper green. Please say hi to Rini. Hello, Rini, and welcome. All right, and then we've got our juniper green. Just gonna give that a quick sharpen. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna grab the, what did we use? We used the true green. Okay, and then the light green. Sounds good, Barbara. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Michelle, hello. You're diamond painting and doing the wrong symbols. Ugh, now I'm doing my boo-boo. Oh, Michelle, I've done that. And then you're just like all this time, and then it takes just the same amount of time to re-put them on as it does to take them off. Oh, I feel you, Michelle. Well, hopefully you get that worked out, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so we did just basically opposite colors. We did dark on top here, and then we did dark on the bottom. Let's grab our dark carmine, and we're gonna add just a little bit of some contrasting color here, and then we're gonna use our blender. Just a little bit, and a little bit on this side as well. And a little bit there. Let's use a little bit of the light green. There we go. All right, now let's use our blender. A little blendy blend blend. And it never looks quite true to what the color is when you all see it here on screen. But generally I'll take a good picture of it afterwards so you all can see it. Okay, so I want to do not pink and yellow because we did pink and yellow on this one. So we're probably gonna do, ooh, we did kind of purple pink here. Let's look at our color chart real quick. Ah, good, Michelle. Okay, so let's do Pink Matter Lake, Light Flesh, and Rose Carmine. Okay, so let's see. I think we have, oh, there's Rose Carmine. Okay, then we've got, let's see, that is Dark Flesh. We want Light Flesh. I always feel weird saying the word flesh. I don't know, it's a weird word. Let's see, Pink Matter Lake. Where is that pencil? Light Flesh. I think I'm losing my mind. I mean, that's entirely possible. Let's see, that's medium flesh. Oh, light flesh right there. I got it. Color, not car. Ah, that's okay. Yeah, my thing when I did it, it was because I had put sparkly ones where there wasn't meant to be sparkly ones. I think I was just so caught up in the sparkly, I just enjoyed it too much. Okay, so let us start with the, lift this up a little bit. There we go. All right, let's start with the Rose Carmine. And let's start with this bigger one here. I keep wanting, like, I have this long list of projects that I want to do. Like, I'm in the middle of editing a video right now for a review. And then after that, I have another review to do. Like, I have this long list of things that I want to get done. And one of them is work on the diamond paintings. But I just haven't had time. When I have the free time, I'm like, okay, I need to do such and such a thing. And I just haven't had time, unfortunately. But I will get there. I said this last time. My New Year's resolution this year was to finish a diamond painting this year. It can be a small one, it can be a big one, but I have never finished one in my life, and that is my New Year's resolution. Hi, Annette. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so we're gonna put the Rose Carmine. Here we go. All right, and then let's see, let's do that one again. I know it's nice when we do the Wednesday morning ones because then the UK crowd can join. All right, Pink Matter Lake. Well, when we do our big celebratory stream, that one is going to be on the weekend, which is going to be awesome. And it's going to be during the daytime. I'm thinking actually because Corey has moved to not regularly scheduling her streams rather than just doing them when the fancy takes her. You know, she just changed up the way she does it. Anyway, that frees up a little bit of Sunday morning time. So I'm thinking that when we do it, it'll probably be a Sunday well, morning-ish, because she usually started streaming around 11 a.m. my time. So I'm thinking that might be a good time to do it because that puts it at like 5 p.m. UK time. They're very nice, Annette. I like them a lot. Hi, Verica. All right, so now we're going to do Light Flesh. Yeah, I enjoy them quite a bit. We're definitely going to go a little bit darker on our darkest color here because that's all pretty light. So now let's do our Rose Carmine again. I'm going to press a little bit harder. Yeah, I enjoy the Lyra pencils quite a bit. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 5 p.m. Sunday. Yeah, hi, Dominique. So I reached 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is super exciting. It also falls right around the time for my birthday. So I'm thinking we're going to do a 15K and birthday celebration kind of stream to celebrate all of that. And we're going to be doing some games. If you want to see the games that we were doing last stream on Monday night, we did a test run of a game called Words on Stream, and it makes it so that chat can play too. So I'm going to come up with some other games that are kind of like that. And so it's not just going to be coloring, but we're going to do some giveaways. First prize giveaway is going to be your choice of any Hannah Carlson book. And that one's going to be available worldwide because we're going to ship it from Book Depository. And then I have a quote tote bag that has quotes printed on it from various streams. And then we're probably going to do some Etsy giveaways. So it's going to be super fun. There's going to be giveaways, games. It's going to be just one big birthday subscriber awesomeness extravaganza. Thanks, Michelle. No, that's okay, Kenny. I figure that just because Sundays, a lot of people are in church, it's just so hard to find a time that works for everyone. So, oh, good. Annette, it'll be in the morning, my time. So for UK time, it'll be like 5 p.m. UK time. But I think weekend it's hard on the Australia crowd, and it is hard on those that attend church, but it's the entire world. It's going to be really difficult to accommodate everyone. So I think weekend is just going to be the best time to do it. And yeah, so it should be super fun. I'm going to see what else I can plan, but we did a trial run. Let's grab Delft Blue. We did a trial run of the game so I could see if I could actually manage it and, switch between scenes and everything else that we had to do for it. And it worked out really good. And I think people had fun. And I mean, it's word games. Everybody likes word games, right? I mean, a lot of people like word games. It will probably be, I haven't officially scheduled it, but I'm probably going to shoot for the 17th. Yeah, it'll just be one Sunday. It's just a one-off. Yeah, it'll be just one Sunday special. I am shooting for the 17th, I think is the plan. I think that will be the best time to do it. That's going to give me plenty of time to get it all figured out. And yeah, it'll just be Uno Sunday. All right, so now let's do Delft Blue. But yeah, so I should probably get it scheduled at some point soon so that people can start planning for it if they want to come. Plus, I want to start posting on Instagram so everybody knows about the giveaways too. But yeah, I was talking to Shannon trying to figure out the book because I thought about the Kirby Roseanne's book and it's nice, but not everybody. He's got some creepier-ish images in there. Not everybody is a huge fan, so I wanted to choose something that everybody likes that I could do. I did think about Johanna Basford, but I kind of want to make sure that we're, I want to be able to support Hannah and everything that she's going through right now. So I thought it'd be a good choice since she's got so many books. Is that Easter? Oh, that might be Easter. Okay, see, this is why I run it by you guys so you can tell me the obvious things. Okay, scratch that. It will not be the 17th. It will not be the 17th. Maybe we could do it on the 16th. Yeah, that is Easter, isn't it? I was gonna say, because this is the closest my birthday's been to falling on Easter. Yep, see, Steve knows. Steve knows. Okay, scratch that idea. It's not going to be on the 17th. I can't do it this weekend. So maybe either the 16th. Oh, fun, Annette. I think I gotta look at the calendar. Yes, well, yes, Shannon knew too. Shannon knew first. Okay, not Easter. Strike that. I take it back. Okay, I will have to look at the calendar and figure out a time. I do want to do it sooner rather than later. The 16th wouldn't be bad. Streamapalooza on the 24th. But that's like so far after my birthday. I want to do it close. Maybe the 16th. Is there any major holiday I should know about on the 16th? That one could work. The day before Easter? I don't know. Yeah, strike that. Rewind. See, this is why I have you all. I can't be trusted. All right, Pink Mountain. I'm like, all right, let's do a special stream. Yeah, family on Easter weekend. That's right. Yeah, the only other option would be the 16th. So probably the 16th, or if that doesn't work out, we would push it to like the 24th. So let me look at my calendar and just you know, make sure you're following the socials, and when I get it scheduled, you'll be able to see when it is. But taking into account Easter, yeah, I think my kids might be just a teensy bit mad at me if I said, "Hey guys, I'm streaming on Easter instead." Can you imagine? They would riot. They would physically riot. How do you pronounce that? Thessaloniki? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Thessaloniki. I'm gonna guess Thessaloniki, and I probably completely destroyed that. All right, let's do Rose Carmine. I apologize if I just completely butchered that. Hi, Steve.
How did you pronounce it?
Thessaloniki?
Thessaloniki.
Say it again?
Thessaloniki.
There's no L.
Oh.
It's Thessaoniki.
Oh, I thought there was an L.
No, Annette does pronounce it. Thessaloniki. Okay, so it is pronounced with an L, but there's no L's.
I think there's supposed to be an L.
Okay. Oh, there is an L. Okay. Thank God. I thought I was going crazy. Okay, Thessaloniki. Well, yeah, Mr. I've been to Greece.
For those of you in the Bible, the Thessalonians.
Oh. Okay, that makes more sense. That's in Greece? I don't know. I would fail your geography class. Like, you would do your math quiz and I'd be like, isn't Canada in South America? Like, I would fail. Okay, just so we know, I know Canada isn't in South America, but it was just an example. Oh my God, Steve. Canada's been one of the few places I've actually been to, but he'll do these map quizzes. It's like a map quiz of Europe. I would fail it so hard. Sounds good, Tina. Like, I had this game when I was a kid, and I used to have all of the South American countries memorized. And like, I know most of the names now, but you know, you give me a blank map and tell me to label everything and I'm gonna be like, France? Holidays on the 16th, first day of Passover and Emancipation Day. Okay, we might need to rethink this schedule then. It's mainland. I haven't been to mainland Greece before. It's going to be my first time this week. That's amazing. Oh, Annette, take pictures. I mean, I don't know if you feel comfortable like sharing personal pictures, but like take pictures of buildings. I want to see them. They're so pretty. It's so pretty over there. I would love to go to Greece. The closest I've ever been was I worked at a Greek restaurant once when I was younger, and that was about it. But it was owned by a Greek family, and they were very, very Greek. But it was an entertaining job to have. Oh, that's awesome, Sapphire. Okay, so Light Flash. Also, we have a bunch of people in here now, so if you notice the pinned message, the question of the day today is, would you rather, for an entire year, only be able to use water-based markers or gel pens for your colorings? That's all you could use for an entire year. Okay, let's see. What was the other one? It was Rose Carmine. Let's do a little bit more of that. My choice was the water-based markers because I feel like I would just smear a bunch of the gel pens and it would frustrate me too much. Yeah, Cheryl, we are using the Lyra Rembrandts. Oh, yay, Annette. I'm so glad. Deep snow winter for the last 2 years. Oh, man. Snow in Greece. That's got to be pretty. I mean, I know it's... Well, no, actually, no, I don't know exactly how far north it is, but is that weird to have that much snow in Greece, considering it's just there on the coast? Or what's the elevation at there? I don't think I know enough about Greece to know too much. Okay, Delft Blue. Okay, we're gonna do that on the outside, and then we'll do a pink highlight on there. Athens is by the coast. Yeah, so wouldn't it be weird? Neither, okay. Wouldn't it be weird to have that much snow there? I mean, all of the weather's been weird lately, but I forgot how nice it is to have cooler weather because we definitely had, it was 94 here yesterday. Oh, but not in Thessaloniki. Okay, okay. I am not looking forward to the summer heat, I'll tell you that much. If it could just not be like 100 degrees here, that'd be awesome. All right, Pink Matter Lake. That being said, we do have a backyard now. The kids have got a sprinkler. We've got an awning. So, I mean, we're more prepared for the heat than we were where we were living previously, but it's still just not that enjoyable. Let's see. Let's do, what is this one? This is brown ochre. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that, Sapphire. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, top places that I want to travel. Top places that I want to travel in my lifetime. I would like to go back to Scotland at some point because I feel like, we're going to use light chrome. I feel like I didn't get to see enough of it. So I definitely want to go back to Scotland. I'd like to just visit the whole UK. Like, that just fascinates me. Ireland, England. Well, no, hold on. Ireland's separated, right? Okay, I know there's going to be someone that is from Ireland that's going to be like, no, I said it wrong. But either way, Ireland, Scotland, England, I want to go to all there. I have no idea, Kenny. It's okay. I could choose water-based markers because the different tip options, and I feel like I could learn to blend them okay if I use them for a year. Ooh, I like that, Lisa. I like that. But only if I had to. That's fair. That's fair. I also want to do Greece. And then I want to go to South Korea. And then New Zealand. If you want to check out Cranebridge, oh, that'd be so fun. Yeah, so I went a few years back. I went with my mother, actually. We went to Scotland, and that was a lot of fun. And I got to see Johanna there, but I just feel like there was so much that I didn't get to see. But my ancestors are from Ireland, which is why I think I would want to go there. Must go and see the Lake District. Oh, that'd be nice. Switch to washing dishes. I'm still watching and listening. Sounds good, Michelle. Yeah, same. South Korea, yay, hi, Bo. How are you, Bo? Okay, so we're gonna do the rest of the flowers like that. Let's do a couple of these leaves here. So let's grab our juniper green. Well, part of that is Steve is, some of you may not know, but Steve is South Korean. Therefore, my children are half Korean. And so I think that culturally, it would be really nice. We're gonna use juniper green now. It would be really nice for us to make it over there and let the kids experience some of their heritage. Now, Steve was adopted, and so he was brought up American. There's not a ton about him that he follows as far as Korean culture goes. But like for the kids for their first year birthday, we did get them both hanboks, which is the traditional attire for a first birthday. And so they both have those, and we have some friends in Korea who sent them some traditional like Korean gifts and everything. But I think that it would be really good for the kids to go there someday and see the other half of their culture. I mean, they've got this whole other side of them that they're not entirely familiar with. Normally the Athenians head out of the city in the summer as it gets very hot there. I think you'll be, like I said, the sand arrives a bit later, early midsummer. It settles in thin layers on cars. Wait, the sand does? Because of the wind and stuff? Whoa. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot that they're missing about their culture, and I think I just don't know enough about it to do it justice. Plus, the nice thing is since we have friends there, we have friends that have offered to act as translators for us, and it'd be really nice to see them again. But that's also just way off in the future. I mean, I think we would need to set aside between tickets for all of us to go to South Korea. I mean, we're talking at least, I haven't looked at tickets recently, but I would think for the whole trip, I think we'd need to set around like what, $5,000-$6,000 for the entire thing? North Korea? I gotta be honest, I don't know. I think I'd be a little too nervous to visit North Korea. Yeah, tickets are insane. So for a family of 4 plus hotel plus food, or I guess if we were to stay with our friends, but still, I think $5,000 or $6,000 would probably cover it, but that's a lot of money for a trip. But every year, some years definitely. Oh, crazy, huh? Okay, so now let's use a little bit of true green. But it's on the bucket list. I think if I were to choose any of those places for the sake of the family, I think that I would most definitely want to visit South Korea at least once. Yeah, fuel costs. It's very possible, yeah. Trying to think if there's anywhere else I ever wanted to, but I think that's about it on my wish list for places to visit. So far, I've visited Canada. I had a layover in Germany. I don't know if that counts as visiting it though. But Canada, Scotland, that's about it actually. Oh, you meant South Korea. Okay. I'm like, yeah, I don't have a super strong urge to visit North Korea, but you know, you do you. I'm not gonna judge. All right, so light green. But yeah, I think it would be interesting. And the thing of it is Steve actually found his birth parents, and he does have some half siblings out there somewhere. But it's a very complicated situation, so it wouldn't be as simple as just being like, we're gonna go visit your biological family. You can imagine the chaos that would probably ensue after that. Okay, let's use dark carmine. Exactly, you gotta laugh, exactly. Welcome back, Mandy. Okay, so let's do dark carmine. Okay, just a little bit here. No worries, Mandy. But yeah, I think culturally it'd be really good for the kids to have a chance to explore their biological heritage. So let's do this past Sunday. Booking tickets for my son and I at Hawaii. Airfare, depending on what I was looking at, have been between $3,000 and $7,000 round trip. Not flying first class. Yeah. Well, in Hawaii, costs are significantly higher in Hawaii. I have a friend who lives there, and the cost of living, like a gallon of milk is just like ridiculous. The cost of living up there is just so much. And Hawaii is definitely a vacation state. So like when I went to Scotland, I got a good deal because number one, I went in an off season for Scotland when it was not exactly good weather. A lot of people like to go in the fall to go see the heather and everything. So we went in an off time and I booked my ticket. It was not sketchy. It was risky. It was risky to do it as far in advance as I did because I booked my ticket a year in advance. I saved for a year and then I booked my ticket a year in advance. And I think I was able to do the entire trip after food costs and everything. Now, keep in mind, my mother was with me, so she paid for the rental car. We're using dark carmine. And she helped to pay for some of the food when we were there because I covered the cost of the hotel. I want to say at the end of the trip, I did the entire thing. And I was there for about a week. I did the entire thing, round trip, hotel and flight included, for about $1,500. So I got a really good deal, but I booked it super far in advance. Like I said, it was risky because I did actually end up getting sick right about the time I had to go. Thankfully, I was well enough to go before I went. But yeah, I booked it so far in advance and I got a really good deal on the hotel and everything. So it was a long planned, long time coming trip. Oh, that's awesome. See, I've never been to Hawaii. My parents have, but I never have. Okay, so that is the pink flower. Let's zoom out. Let's choose one more thing to work on. We got about 15 minutes left. So here's the thing is when we come back, this should be colored. These should be colored. This should be colored. Let's do this flower over here and choose a color for this one. I'm thinking kind of another yellowish one. Maybe a green and yellow would actually be kind of fun. Okay, so let's zoom on in because this one's going to be colored in the same style as this one in the bottom right-hand corner. So let's do this one here. So let's choose our colors. Let's do apple green and then we'll do some yellow. So apple green and lemon cadmium. So let's grab apple green, wherever it is. Yep, that's apple green. Okay, lemon cadmium and cream. I'll just be over here in Tennessee. That's fair. That's fair. Hi, B. How are you? Yeah, absolutely, Marilyn. Absolutely. And it was a good trip. I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to forget it anytime soon. And plus, it was just so nice. I was able, I moved away from home ages ago, but it was so nice to be able to go there with my mother. So it was a nice kind of like bonding experience. We hadn't seen each other in a while. So it was a really good time. Yes, it is the 72, exclamation point words are hard. It is the 72 set of pencils. The link for it is in the description below. I don't fly or float. Is it a fear of flying, or you don't have much of a desire to travel? All right, so apple green, or you don't have to say if you don't want to, that's fine too. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to go over the entire world, but there's definitely some places I'd be interested to see. My sister's been to Paris. That was really cool. But yeah, I think a trip to those few places would be really cool. So at some point I'll start planning for that. In Hawaii in 2009, milk was $8 a gallon. I'd have to guess it was at least 12. Yeah. Okay, so now let's do, oh, look at that. I didn't notice that. Look at that. Here. Oh, hang on. I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Look at that. It's split on the barrel. Doesn't seem to be affecting it. Oh, never mind. Okay. There we go. There's that. That piece just came off. That's a little unusual for liras. Oh well, it'll survive. Norway. Yeah, Norway's beautiful. Okay, so that was the cream. We're going to use the lemon cadmium. Okay. But yeah, definitely some more traveling in the future. I'll wave at you from the ground. There we go. It's like in Animal Crossing when you're visiting another person's island and the person's island you're visiting is just under there waving at you from the plane. Ooh, Switzerland would be pretty. Yeah, Switzerland would be really nice. All right, cream. Oop, nothing happened. No one heard anything. Yeah, I don't want this leaf to be like super green, but I need it enough to where it's not just straight yellow all the way through. So we're going to use a little bit more of the apple. Probably on the left side here. There we go. Then let's see. Yes, and it doesn't seem to be, but I was just a little surprised. I mean, the Rembrandts are usually in pretty good condition. They're not exactly like a polychromo. All right, lemon cadmium. I haven't had too many issues with very much breakage in these, and like I said, the lead is fine on it, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Yep, it happens, exactly. Aw, thanks, Lisa. All right, and then some cream. All right, now let's grab a little bit of, we want a nice light purple. Let's see, what's our lightest purple? Light violet. Let's actually grab a little bit of that, and we're gonna use that here. Very carefully. When you're using purple to shade yellow, you don't want it to be too dark. You don't want it to overwhelm it because you're putting a very dark color on a very light color. But purple is the complementary of yellow, and so that is going to help you with your contrasting shadows. So I'm actually going to bring this down where this flower is overlapping on it. It will still look strongly yellow, but without using black, you'll have this nice kind of little subtle shadow. Okay, now let's use our blender. The brutes are nice. It's very possible, but I've had these for a really long time. That's a nice thing too, is it seems like with the oil pencils, same thing with like the Pablos and the Faber-Castells, it takes me a while to use them up completely. Unless it's like, I do have a couple colors on the Faber-Castell that I use all the time, but. Okay, let's do, for the inside of this, let's choose Canary Yellow. Do I want to do that one? Hang on. I don't have Canary Yellow. Let's see, I do have it out. I just need to find where I put it. Let's see, that's cream. That's lemon cadmium. That's the light chrome. Canary Yellow, here we go. It's just a slight orange. Okay, quick sharpen here. Just a slight orange. I don't want a really strong orange, but I don't want to use the green again. So we want to do something a little bit different than straight up yellow, but enough that we have a slight variation in it. Okay, so now we're going to use lemon cadmium. Just a little bit there. And then we're going to use the cream. And then we'll do the same here. And that again is the Canary Yellow. It's just got a slight orange hue to it. Okay, then the lemon cadmium. And then the cream. Now for this inside line, let's do let's do something a little risky. Let's get our Pink Madder Lake, just a little bit. Gonna go real lightly. And then the rest of it is going to be cream. That's a very Eastery kind of flower, isn't it? I like that. We're gonna go cream over it. And in fact, that pink is gonna turn a little bit into orange when you take the cream over it. Okay, and then let's take our purple. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because it's a little bit bright. Get a little bit better of an idea. Hi, Mrs. Butterfly, how are you? Me and my brother moved to Indiana November 19th. We got here and bought and moved to our very own house February 19th. So only 3 months of waiting. That's not bad. There are bunnies in my yard. Oh, Michelle, I love that. I love little happy bunnies. Okay, so light violet. There we go. Where these are overlapping, we're going to throw that in all the way down. And it just gives it that little kind of subtle shadow. There we go. Okay, that is a little bit dark now. All right, let's zoom out a little bit and see how we're looking. Does anyone know anything about the Shapiro Farb and pencils? For a long time, they weren't available on UK Amazon and are back now. Are they worth buying? I love the Shapiros. In fact, I almost used those for this page instead of these ones. But yeah, I really like them. I'll grab them real quick. I'll show them to you. My thing is obviously it's impossible for me to use all my pencils all at once. And so I try to cycle through them. You know, if I realize I haven't used one in a while, then I will try to make an effort to use that particular one. I am doing well, Mrs. Butterfly. Thumper Bugs Bunny lives in my backyard, same color. I love that. So I have them in this case here, but there's quite a few colors. I like them a lot. They are definitely a good addition to anybody's set for sure. Okay, so as far as the plan then, what will be colored when we come back? And I think, like I said, next time I think will be our last day with this one. So this section will be colored, this will be colored, then we'll have the rest of this colored, and the rest of all of this colored. So then that will leave us some leaves, flowers up here, flowers over here, and a few other random leaves. I need to do the rest of the stem. But otherwise, we should be pretty caught up. Thanks, Dominique. We should be pretty caught up with this page by the time we come back. Nice kind of rainbowy looking sort of page, which isn't surprising because I always do a bit of a rainbow color palette. Awesome, Sapphire. Yeah, they're wonderful. I absolutely love them. Well, it is 11:56. I would like to go get some lunch, so I'm gonna head out. Christina, thank you for your membership. Kara, thank you for your super chat. With that, I am going to head out. I will see you all Friday evening, and I will look at my calendar and I will figure out a date that works for that stream. And there will be plenty of promotion for it, so don't worry. I'm sure you will see some sort of notice that says when it is, so you shouldn't miss it. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. Thanks everyone for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you Friday night. All right, bye.